Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back for another match reaction here on TJ Warren TV. Arsenal 3. See, I got to do that. Tottenham Hotspur 2. I am absolutely gassed out. I'm a little sweaty. I had to reapply the deodorant.
Did you?
After, yeah, I did. No, and I don't mean to be giving too much away here, but yeah, it was a little sweaty, if you will.
Yeah,
But that's what this team takes you through. It takes you through new levels of blood pressure medication. It takes you through different, like 3 different shirts sometimes, because I sweated through my shirt. I had to reapply and put on the away kit now. Like, that's how serious it got. But man, let me tell you, I am gassed. Anytime we can get 3 points from away in the North London Derby is absolutely huge. The stakes couldn't have been higher today, and we got the win. How are you feeling?
Much like you, bro. I was excited, but I was very nervous at the end. But we got 3 points is all that matters. I thought we were sensational the first half. The second half had a lot to be desired. But I know we'll dive into that. But I'm ecstatic for 3 points. 4 points above City. I know they're up 1-0 now on Forest. Come on, Forest.
It's 2-0. It's 2-0 City.
Wood is a pretty big fraud, TK. That's true. Chris Wood has had multiple chances to score already. I don't know if you've been watching TJ or not, but he's already missed, I think, three.
If we were depending on Chris, we can't depend on Chris Wood to do anything for us. All we can do is what we can do.
Yeah. So with that said, no, we got the 3 points. We did what we had to do today. It wasn't the best second half. I'm angry at Arteta a little bit, and of course, happy in other ways. But I'm a little more annoyed at Arteta for what I saw in the second half. Hey, big up footy chats. Again, taking our foot off the gas pedal, TJ.
Yep.
3-0 going at halftime. We come out and we look at a somewhat of a different team. Like, when is it ever safe to sit back on a 3-0 lead at Tottenham with 60,000 hostile fans, and you're thinking you're going to sit back with 3-0? I mean, I know that's a decent scoreline. We all know that. But you're going against your rivals.
Right.
And we are a mistake-prone team. So there's you've got to take a little bit into account, Arteta, that mistakes are going to happen. We got Firmino, I mean, the one thing, another positive though, is that Tottenham have not scored in open play now in two games. They got shellacked by Newcastle, no goals. And basically, if it wasn't for Raya's mistake in the penalty of kicking Ben Davis in the vagina, then, they wouldn't have any goals. They wouldn't have any goals. They can't score from open play. And that's
caught me off guard. That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I was saying that earlier. Cube was caught off guard too. But, always just killed it. Right here, the last 20 minutes was absolutely god-awful fucking terrible. Yep. And it raises blood pressures. It doesn't put confidence in the fan base. It I think, makes Arteta even, dive a little deeper in his own mind to think of how to fix the last 20 minutes, right? I mean, it could have all gone pear-shaped, and it damn well could have. Raya redeemed himself in my eyes because I think he caught 6 or 7 crosses. I mean, after that kerfluffle or whatever the fuck he was trying to do, it's like he went on to catch every single cross that came into the box afterwards. Of course, there was 2 or 3 headers in there, but I thought he was immense towards the end of the game, kept his composure. But it's like, bro, you cannot make these mistakes, Raya. I mean, I never saw the real issue with Ramsdale. Like I said before, TJ, when we started the stream at the beginning of the season, when we started talking about this, I never saw the issue. I always thought Arteta was creating a problem for himself. And Raya has looked suspect at times. But, if Ramsdale out there, does he catch those? Does Ramsdale pawn those off and all of a sudden they're in Son's lap or something, Because that's what we've seen before. I just don't think that, that Raya is really that effective under pressure. Yeah, he looks great in the minnow games, but, for a while, these big games, he's looked under pressure. He looks a little sus, but at least he pulled his head out of his ass today and made some great saves off those crosses, because I was getting worried that one of those was just going to take a slight header and go in the
a
corner.
slight header and go in. Yeah, no, and I'm gonna address this real quick. So TJ, is Reyes still better than Ramsdale? Yes. The confidence in the box is absolutely heads, tails, feet, shoulders, knees, toes above Ramsdale. And everybody who is saying, oh, Ramsdale wouldn't have made that mistake, you guys have short-term memories. And I love everybody in the chat. By the way, make sure you smash the likes. But I've heard this. I went on the terrace earlier today, and they were trying to sell me this bullshit too. Ramsdale against Brentford. People forget about that. He put his head down. He tried to hoof it down the field. Wissa was right there, took it from him, and scored. So stop saying that Raya is the only goalkeeper. The way that people are moving today, you would think that Raya is the only goalkeeper in the Premier League that makes a fucking mistake. Does he make mistakes? Yes. But it's also the way that Arteta has him playing. He is a very mobile goalkeeper. He does not stay home. And that helps us more often than it hurts us. Okay? How many crosses did Spurs have into the box today that he just went up and caught? How many times last season did we bitch about Ramsdale not doing it or not doing that correctly or at the correct time? Like he's the goalkeeper that fits the style of play the best. That's all I'm saying. Ramsdale, I think he's going to have a great career. I think he's going to have a great career anywhere else. But Raya is the guy to move us forward. He may not be the best shot stopper. I'll give Ramsdale that. But in terms of advancing the ball, in terms of how he controls the box, he's heads and tails above Ramsdale. Like, I'm sorry. I got to call this out. Big up Jaminho. It's one of those things that we always disagree on, which is totally fine. But I just don't see how you blame Raya for that. Well, obviously it was his fault, and I was cussing him, and you saw the momentum swing. But I think any goalkeeper is in his position is prone to make that mistake. That's all I'm saying. It was just in the worst time he could have done it. We still got the result. I can't believe I'm saying this. We still got the result. The football wasn't pretty, and it wasn't. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't the best performance from Arsenal today. Like, let's be real. And Spurs fans are saying Tottenham played like shit. Arsenal fans are saying, oh, yeah, we gassed it up. I honestly think Tottenham didn't play that well. I mean, I don't think they played bad. I think they were mediocre. That's all. They just can't finish their chances. They're awful in the final third. They're very good. Possession FC. They did a very good job at possessing the ball. They actually had, and I know that this is a weird, I know that I'm going to get rinsed in the chat for saying this, but I'm going to say it. They had more expected goals than we did. That's just how shit they are, is that they cannot finish their chances. And Raya was there. Our back line, they were okay, but we did enough to get it done. And at the end of the day, like I've been bigging up performances and talking about how performances are so important. I think in a game like this, who gives a shit? Win. Do what you have to do to win the game.
Yeah.
Because and worry about the performance against Bournemouth. Then go ahead, make sure that we get that win against Bournemouth so we can go into Old Trafford and get ready to go. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. And sorry, I'll catch up on the comments here, guys. But the Raya slander is unbelievable to me. Yes, he has had one of the best defensive midfields in the league. Yes, we've had one of the best backlines in the league. It's true. But when he has needed to be there, he's needed to be there. We're in a position now partly because of David Raya, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but also on the offensive side of the ball as well. He's very, very good at getting the ball out during counters. Like, guys, I'm all for calling out players for their mistakes, and I did do that for Raya. But come on, the way you guys are moving, you guys think he's the worst fucking goalkeeper in the league. You guys would think and that's just not true.
Well, it's just not true. Last week for like the most clean sheets in the league.
Yeah, like he has the most. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's gonna win. He's likely gonna win the Golden Glove. Like, let's just like calm down a little bit.
But
calm down.
I think Gunnar ER has a comment in there talking about
where is it?
Took our foot off the gas. Yeah, that too. The Southampton. Yeah, never forget that. But I was disappointed in the second half. I thought the first half we were superb. We were moving the ball well. Yes, that's the comment, and that to me is the 1,000% correct. And it's not just this game, as ER knows. It's consistently when we are up, We look like we're just going through the motions. It looks like a training match, except the Chelsea game. But that's Chelsea. They're not even good as Tottenham, and Tottenham are really bad. That's 2 goals now. They've conceded 7 goals and scored 2 that aren't even open play, right? I mean, we're talking hand grenades and horseshoes at this point. Is it Rice makes a mistake, the first real mistake he's made since the West Ham game, I think, when we played them away, where he gave up a penalty or I think, he's just one of his worst games, I believe, right, TJ?
Yeah.
Was when we were away at West Ham, and I think we dropped points at that game. But, I just, it was a game of 2 halves. And I don't know what Arteta's telling these guys at halftime. If he's telling them to sit back, 3-0, lads, let's sit back and pass it around. I don't know. And that's the problem. That's why I'm still on the fence with this manager. It's like he does great things at times, and then, we see stuff like this in the second half. You would think in the second half we would have come out, smelt the blood, like, maybe Sir Alex Ferguson's class of 92 did at United, and go on to win 4-5-0. And this, and it just – I think it's him telling them to hold back. I really do. I can't imagine that it's Odegaard or Saka or Rice making these decisions. It's just, it's arrogant, and he's going to want to win his own way.
Yep.
Big up Mari.
Big up Mari from Tottenham away, because you know what? He holds his L's. He is a real one. Big up Mari every time. He's gonna be fuming too. The next time you see Mari on, he's gonna have a rant ready to go, because Tottenham were not that great. Like, you expect something better out of your club in a derby at home, and those fans that went out there, it was a close game, but on paper, like, we gifted those goals. We gifted them. Like, it was very, very weird. It was a very, very weird game. If you're really thinking about it. But
City's 2 up.
Yeah, City's 2 up now. I mean, we can only do what we can do. And at this point, we've proven that we can win out. The biggest game that we have to worry about, obviously we got to worry about Bournemouth. You don't want to take any game not seriously in the Premier League. I get it. But Bournemouth are not playing for anything. Bournemouth are already on vacation. They're staying up. They're not going to Europe. They're just hanging out. So they're there to be gotten at. We have something to play for. City can drop points. Like, I do believe.
That ain't happening, TJ. The only team they're going to drop points.
My phone started listening to me for some reason.
You think so? They're not dropping points today.
They're not dropping points today, but they have their run out, I believe, is more difficult than ours. Just hear me out real quick. Okay. Tottenham, they always have a trouble getting a result at Tottenham. That's historical. Okay, that's in 2 weeks. Then you have, and then I think that they have Fulham at home, Fulham away. And look, say what you want about Fulham, at home against top 6 teams this season, they've been very, very good. So while I'm not saying that it's already over, because the way that City are playing are over, it is over, but those games are worth watching. The games are worth watching. Those games are worth keeping an eye on, because Fulham can put in a shift at home. They got points off of us at home. We dropped 5 points to Fulham this season. Like, what's saying that City can't do one stinker away in one of those 2 matches? I mean, and there are some Spurs fans, and I know there aren't ones in the chat that are hoping Spurs lose.
Right, the Spurs turn over to have us win it.
Turn over to have us lose. But at the end of the day, I think if you're a real Spurs fan, you're going to want your team to win that, because Spurs are still playing for top 4. They're not totally out of it yet. So I just think that's absolutely crazy. And I know I'm a little all over the place today. I think my blood pressure did something to my brain at the end of that. But yeah, man, I mean, it's one of those things where, look, we made mistakes. We might end up paying for them, and that's towards the end. After we win against Everton at home, are we going to be lifting nothing, or are we going to be lifting something? It's up to City. It's in City's hands, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, no, exactly it is. And, we shot ourselves in the foot against Villa. That was a game we needed to win.
Yep.
Because then we'd be talking.
Yeah,
More
we shot
points.
ourselves in the foot. I mean, you can go back to any part of this season and say, "Oh man, what if?"
West Ham,
Fulham 10-minute home,
Yep.
West Ham 3-0, Villa 1-0 away. Like you can pick and choose those moments, but I mean, I think at the end of the day, we're here we are where we are,
Right.
and I'm just thrilled that we won this game today. I don't really care how it happens in the North London Derby. I don't care. Like if we put in that performance against Wolves, for instance, and we barely win, I'm going to come out and criticize the players. But
Right.
to win in that atmosphere where this was and at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to talk for Spurs fans, but I'm going to do it anyway. This was your Champions League final for this season. This was your opportunity to say, you know what, we took 5 points off of Arsenal this season.
Right.
This was your chance to do that, and your players went out and played like that.
Yeah.
No gilt edge opportunity. You still got that bum Timo Werner out there absolutely stinking the place up. You got freaking Ben Davies out there, and I love the gaslighting and the glossing over that Ben Davies is getting. Oh, he didn't play that bad. No, he got spun into the ground by Saka. Saka scores. Like, he was completely outclassed today. Completely outclassed.
Oh, yeah. He was fouling towards the end.
Exactly. And look, at the end of the day, we gave you your 2 goals. And you could argue that Højbjerg gave us one. Okay, that's fine. But that's just because you're so shit at set pieces, and we are very good at set pieces. All you got to do is watch any Tottenham Hotspur game to understand how to play them in corner kick scenarios. Back into Vicario, frustrate him, and have one guy that's not being marked, because dollars to donuts, there's going to be somebody in the box that isn't marked. And it happened to be Højbjerg. And it happened to be Kai Havertz, you know? So it's just like, it's absolutely insane to me to think that Spurs didn't deserve to lose. Like they deserve to lose.
No, they deserve to lose. And the fact of the matter is, like I said, we took our foot off the gas pedal in the second half. If Arteta would have maybe given a little more inspiration, because I don't think he said shit. I think he went in there and said, "Good job, boys. Good job first half. Let's just kind of go out and see the game out." That's what I really think he said to them. I don't think he told them to go out there and put, stomp on their chicken necks, is what I would have said. I mean, Johnny Donuts would have said it. So it's kind of like, what is Arteta risking? Like, what is the risk? At 3-0, you have to keep just pressuring them. When you sit back, you're just giving them, impotence to do what they want. And they did. They did at certain points of that game. I mean, there's times they could have scored, with some of those looped balls in. And I was not, big up,
Big up, Dio. Big up, Dio.
I just wasn't convinced in that second half. I'm sorry.
What? I mean, if you're looking at the passage of play, they had most of the possession. We let our foot off the gas, which has been one of our biggest criticisms of this club this far this season. But I'm not going to criticize them too much,
right?
Just because we weren't making any mistakes. I mean, if we go in there, we say we have possession, we go out there, we get countered. I'm totally fine in this situation, sitting back.
Yeah. No,
totally fine.
No, I just think that, again, if we would have gotten that fourth goal, let's say it was 4-0 at halftime, then I can say sit back. But 3-0, when we know we're a mistake-prone team, we know that mistakes have killed us in the past. It's killed us against City last season, right, when Tomiyasu makes the back pass, and Holland's right there. The little mistakes have killed us this season, and that's where I just was kind of like, if they tie this up, then we deserve to lose if they tie this up.
I agree.
I really felt that. in the last 10 minutes, and it's just, it's like ER says as well. We're not ruthless enough. It's like Odegaard sometimes would rather make the pass than get the goal. Why? There's certain times Declan Rice was open, touch the ball to your right and slamming in with your right foot. But instead they would make that back pass or they'd pass it lateral. Just little things like that, a little more clinical finishing. But all in all, I thought we did what we had to do in a hostile environment. I'll take 3-2, and I predicted 4-0, and I really thought it was going to be that. But hey, I'm just pissed we gave up a penalty and that stupid mistake by Rhea, because that really kind of does gloss a little bit over the win, unfortunately.
Right. Big up Michael from Poland. Big up Michael every single time. You can catch him over on Tottenham Away sometimes. He says, how does it take 2 goals to concede to realize White is obstructing Vicario and somebody should mark him? Joke. This is exactly what I'm saying. And you saw it against Spurs Everton earlier this season. I can't believe, I don't even understand why I was up, but I was watching Spurs play Everton, I think at Goodison, and they did the exact same thing. You frustrate Vicario on those set pieces, he's going to make a mistake, or somebody's going to get a ball by him. And the fact that Spurs coaches haven't learned that yet or coached that is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane to me. Like, all you got to do is you got to blame your coaching staff for that. Like, and I don't necessarily blame Ange. I think that this is not the team that he wants at the end of the day. I think that he's going to want to move out 8 or 9 players and try to start with his own type of team, because at the end of the day, this is not what Ange wants. This starting 11, and I'm speaking as an Arsenal fan here, so you Spurs fans can just hold that. Ange is playing with a shit team, aside for maybe 4 or 5 players. Other than that, the rest of them can probably go. Otherwise, you guys are going to be sitting mid-table for time.
And here's, I think, to compound that, the problem, I don't know if some Spurs fans think this or not, but is Ange really a draw for any player? Like, does any top world-class European player look at Ange Postecoglou and go, oh, there's a manager I want to play for? No. He's not a name yet. And until you guys really get a name in there, I'm not saying Arteta's a name, right, of course, but until you guys get a real name in there, a real solidified manager with a pedigree, I think Spurs are going to end up the mediocre as they are. You're no better than Crystal Palace, and I'm not even trying to insult the club. It's just real. You guys haven't won anything in 40 plus years. Palace, Wolves, are you guys even that much better than Brentford? I mean, I know they're down in the table, but you're not that much better than West Ham.
Yeah,
it's comparable. West Ham have a European trophy now over Spurs.
Yeah,
over Arsenal too. So I guess I could take a hit for that. But Spurs fans, I mean, what player would you even think would want to come and play for your club because Ange is your manager and I want to go play for Ange? Maybe some chaps over in Glasgow, possibly. I mean, it's just that's the problem. I think Spurs fans need to realize is that they don't have the big name as the manager. We kind of do now because of last season. Other than that, Arteta was a newbie, right? But because of the progress we made last season, he's now a known name throughout Europe, and there's probably some players that want to play for him. Zubamendi's probably first on the list. But I can't think of any top player that would look at Tottenham as a place to go to win trophies.
Yep. 100%.
It's like looking at Crystal Palace. I'm sorry. It's looking at those mid clubs that Tottenham are just above them, but for nothing.
Yeah. I think there are players. I think there are players out there. I think there are players out there that could fit into Ange's system, but they're not going to be they're not going to be world class. Like he's not going to be pulling other players from the Prem and saying, "Oh yeah, I believe in something that you're doing here." Like he's going to need to get young and younger experienced players that fit into his system to move forward. Hold on real quick. Big up, in my opinion. Big up, Elias. Thanks for the super chat, my guy. For the record, congratulations, Arsenal. I'm not a runner. Hey, no, there's a lot of Spurs fans in here right now. Big up Mari, obviously, and big up Highbury's local Badger. He's not a Tottenham fan, but he's he's here. Big up everybody inside. Make sure that you are smashing the likes. Make sure that you are subscribing to Oregon Gooner. Make sure you're subscribing to TJ Warren TV if you haven't already. And then obviously make sure you're subscribing to CMO Sports. He is not here today, but he was here for the watch along. So obviously go back and watch that. That was absolutely incredible. That was an incredible watch along. aggressive. And also big up Jacob, big up United Spurs of America. It was great to see
He was
Jacob's young kiddo making her YouTube debut while her husband absolutely had a breakdown, or her father rather, excuse me. But yeah, what are you guys saying in the chat? Get your final questions in before me and Dal move on to the player rating segment. We're probably going to do that here in about 5. Paul says Ange is the new Poch, high octane, but it remains to be seen if he can take decent talents and make them world class. I think it's a little different. I think that Chelsea bought with Poch in mind, and Tottenham have not done that. Tottenham have not done that yet, to the extent that Chelsea did anyway. I think that they went out there and said, okay, we have this project, we have this money, we're bringing in this manager who has won things, and we are going to move forward. Chelsea, that's just been an absolute shambles, and I hope it continues. But for Poch, it's not, or for Ange, it's not necessarily the same thing. He lost his best player before the season even started, and he really hasn't had a chance to bring in players that fit into a Kane-less system, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in the transfer window to try to get back to the spot, because they're going to Europa or Conference League. So you're still competing in Europe as much as you don't like it as much, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I just think that equating Ange and Poch, they're completely two different things. Oh, you meant Klopp. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah. Anyway, big up Ravi.
Big up Robbie. Big up Theo. What the last 15 minutes? Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no kidding. Absolutely no kidding. You didn't get out of first gear, TJ. I mean, and yes and no. I mean, look, let's talk about the goals real quick. That fucking pass from Kai Havertz. Oh my days. And you saw Bukayo streaking, and we were literally yelling at the team, Bukayo, he's right there. What a pass. What a move. Sent Ben Davies to the shadow realm. Ben Davies is still wondering where he is. Well, obviously he's recovering from the nut shot, but he's still wondering where he is. The gynecologist. God damn it.
No, he took 3-on-1, including the keeper.
But yeah, exactly.
3-on-1.
So
not including the keeper.
So yeah, and then what a finish from Bukayo. What a finish from Bukayo. And we've been asking Bukayo to step up in these big situations. 2-on-1. He spins him into the ground and slots it away. Left foot. Bukayo Saka special, man. What a goal. And then Kai Havertz from Bukayo on the corner, getting ahead on it to make it 3-0. Kai Havertz, again, I don't mean to play spoiler alert, but Kai Havertz was the man of the match for Arsenal. He was all over the place. Yeah, he was all over the place. And the two guys that you are watching right now, when we brought in Havertz, we were fuming. But we will give credit where credit is due. And he played his ass off today. Absolutely great from Kai Havertz today. What do you think, Dal?
I thought everybody played really, really well, except for certain stints in the second half.
Yep.
And I didn't mind that Tottenham had more possession, because we could still be playing that game at certain times. I don't think they would score from open play, to be honest. I mean, we would have to be dead tired, which we were at the end of the game. And of course, the last 10, 15 minutes is always squeaky bum. But, being a fan of this club for 20 plus years, TJ, I'm used to it. I really am. I really am. But at 3-0, I thought we were in control. But again, my man Gunnar ER hits the nail on the head again, and we got arrogant. And we started going in training match mode. And at that same time, concentration lapse happened, and David Raya did a David Raya thing. And I'm, as much as I backed Ramsdale before, I can see why David Raya is more commanding in the box. He went on to catch every single cross in the last 15 minutes of the game. And we know Ramsdale, he would be punching a lot of those balls out and giving more opportunities. So with that said, I'm not going to talk about the refs. I will say, if it's not for VAR, that Van der Ringo stays.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was very close.
Centimeters offsides, but you could see a bit in the red that the red line was going to come. You could tell they're going to have to put the lines up there, and you could see him just out there. But in the real world, TJ, which we don't live um, in football, right? We don't live in a real world football. That is absolutely a goal, and this is a 3-3 game. But with that said, I'm sorry, Spurs. We played you off the pitch in the first half.
Yeah.
There's no your fans were even saying you were absolute dog shit in the first half. We weren't the best, but we were not that bad in the first half. And when it was 3-0, I really thought the floodgates were going to open, and we were looking at 4-5-0. And I predicted 4-0, TJ, on the show Friday.
You did.
So I was very up for it because I could sense their lineup with Timo Werner in there. I knew he wasn't going to do anything. I knew Ben Davis or Royale were going to be at the left back. I knew they were going to get sauced. Just there's certain things that you kind of know from watching this season that if Saka steps up, he's going to have a great game, and he did. In other games, we've wanted him to step up, and he's been terrible. We've given him 3s and 4s over the last few weeks, where he's touched the ball, gone in the middle, double team, losing the ball, falling down, But given that one chance, he proves that he's star boy once again. Second half, though, was a real let off. Like I said it before, 3-0 up, put your foot on their throats and just go for 4. Because at 4-0, I don't think there's any coming back at all in any way, shape, or form. Even if they do get a penalty and a weak-ass mistake goal. I just feel that we were the dominant team. And, TJ, we're the true kings of North London.
It was never in doubt. Let's go ahead and get into the player rating segment for this match. Guys, make sure that you are putting your player rating into the chat. We're only going to be doing Arsenal players because, respectfully, fuck Spurs. I couldn't care less. But the one person... Oh, wait, one more thing I want to say. Where did Heung-min Son go?
Oh.
Where was he? The guy, and I know what argument is coming in. Look, I'm not saying that Son has been bad all season. I'm not saying it, but today he was not good. Today he was given the pen, well taken pen. Other than that, I wouldn't have known that he was on the pitch. So we locked down Heung-min Son. We were able to keep him quiet. And honestly, I can't wait to hear the excuses of, well, he didn't get any service. Look at who he's playing with, blah, blah, blah. No, I've heard for the last couple of weeks that star players make star moments happen, and Son was synonymous, as expressions would say. He was not good today. So say what you want about it. We still won. Anyway, all right. Sorry, I just had to say that. Sorry. Yeah, was Son in the match? No, he took a penalty and then he left. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go one player at a time. Dow, why don't you hit David Rea?
David Rea, I'm going to give a 6 today. I was going to give him a 5. I'm not going to give him a negative 10,000, Jaminho. But a 6 because he did do much better in the last quarter of that game. The mistake was absolutely dreadful. You stupid fucking twat is what I called my television. He did that mother fucking Rea. Sorry to curse, but I was livid because we played so much mistake free, and it just takes one mistake. You can tell the mentality dropped, the concentration dropped after the mistake. They were on the front foot, and they got a penalty, blah blah blah. But no, David Rea redeemed himself with I would say 6 or 7 crosses that came in, and he just caught them. I mean, that's what we need our keeper to do in command of the box. But I'm still going to go with a 6 today.
All right. Jaminho, I want to highlight everything you say, but I can't. Good Lord. This guy. Somebody called Jaminho down. No, I agree. 6 is fair, in my opinion. I think the guys that are giving him... Yeah. No, I think 6 is fair. I'm going to take Tommy. Where's Tommy Asu in this little... This is why Connor needs to be here. Tommy Asu gets a 5. He was not great today. He got spun around a couple of times, turned the ball over I looked up the stats here. Turned the ball over 10 times. He really was, of our back line, he was the least solid today. So I got to give him a 5. Obviously, I'm not going to rake him over the coals too much, but because we got the win. But that is not the version of Tomiyasu we need in this club moving forward. He needs to be more solid. He needs to be stronger on the ball, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 5. If Ray is a 6, then everyone's a 10. This is why I love this community, man. Best community on YouTube. It's so funny, dude. Every time I'm here laughing. Literally every single time. Gabrielle now. Why don't you take Gabrielle?
Gabrielle, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he was decent today.
Yep.
Just kind of held things down as normal. I think there was a couple, maybe a little iffy moments on there between him and Saliba. But overall, Gabrielle held it down today with a solid 7.
All right. Fair.
Kept Son in his pocket.
Fair. Everybody's saying Gabrielle 5, 8 for Gabby. Hugo's pro Gabby right now. Hugo's pro Gabby. I think he was all right. I think he was okay, but there were a couple of times that back line made me think, like people are gonna say. So I'll take Saliba. I'm gonna give Saliba a 6. There were a couple of times where he looked pretty shaky on that back line, not necessarily making the best decisions, in my opinion. Magalai 8.5. Geez, see these guys are out. These guys are all over it.
Yeah, they're happy. Local Badgers, old school gunner. He's happy to get 3 points against the scum. I get it.
There you go. I get it. No, I get it. I'm just trying to be fair-ish here. Saliba, solid enough, but you can still see that he's not the Saliba that we had in 23. I hope he continues to, build back up that form that he had, because we really are going to need him on this final run out. Obviously, there's nobody else that we put in that position. But a couple of mistakes, but he was okay today, so I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah. I would go a little. For me, I would probably be a 7. I thought 7.5, but no, I think a 6. And there has been inconsistencies that we've seen over since, like you said, I think November, possibly. That November, he just hasn't really been the same. There has been a dip in form. But he's still one of the best in the league, bro. I mean, the numbers are there. Oh, you put them up.
Fine, I'll put them up.
I caved. Statistically, numbers-wise, they're the best in the league.
Yep.
I mean, everyone's prone to mistakes. And today there was a little shakiness, but it's away at Tottenham. It's a scummy Spurs team that has to get 3 points. They need points just as much as we do. So yeah, 6.5, 7, whatever you want, TJ. But yeah, I thought that he was decent today.
We'll go with a 7 because Hugo said 7, and I feel like I'm being a little harsh. I mean, at the end of the day, we got the job done. I would say I don't think anybody, if you have anybody other than Gabrielle next to Saliba, I think it goes tits up, to be honest.
Do you want Ben White and Kiwior there? Oh,
no. No, that's why I'm saying, like, the fact that these two have been able to stay healthy throughout most of the season,
injury-free.
Without that, we are.
Without them, we would not. Without them, let's be honest, Gunners. Without them, we would not be where we are. Because if you're talking Kiwior or Ben White in the center back positions, we're giving up goals. We're not constraining Holland. We're not constraining Nunez. I mean, let's go back and look at some of these games, guys. They've been phenomenal this season together. The best. Thank you, local Badger, my guy. They've been the best. And yeah, they look shaky, but that's football. That's football.
Facts. Ben White. Dow.
8. Phenomenal today. Absolutely phenomenal today. The best right back in the league. Do I dare say it?
He's up there.
He's up there.
In my opinion.
Top 5. Did some overlapping, helping Saka out. Was trying to offensively get things going. Was trying to make something out of nothing and still defend. And still defend. Who was he on? Son. Well, no. Who was on their left today?
Timo Werner.
Werner. Oh yeah, Werner. Okay, yeah, that's okay. So he had much to do with that dumb plot, but I feel like Ben White has been solid as right back.
Yep.
Paul, let me know who the best right back in the league is, bro.
Had
And Kyle Walker.
great overlap, and this is something that we are always calling out for. Great overlapping runs from Ben White today, showing giving options. He wasn't always utilized, but when he overlaps on the right on Saka, you can literally see Ben Davies' eyes move, like, and his body shift outwards, and it gives Odegaard that space. It gives Bakayo that space, and I just thought, like, the way that Ben White has been playing the last 4 or 5 games has been absolutely incredible. I don't think he's getting enough credit for it. And yeah, I'm not even talking about like even without the 2 goals that he got at Chelsea, even without, which were class, by the way.
Yes.
The options that he is providing on the outside while being solid at right back, man, like, you can't ask for more than that. You can't ask for more than that, in my opinion.
He's doing his job, and that's why he gets starting every week. Tomiyasu hasn't pushed him out of position. Tomiyasu pushed Zinchenko back to Ukraine. So I mean, no, and Ben White has gone as kind of the unsung hero of the last couple months.
Yep. No, sure. I agree, 100%. Okay, let's go into the midfield. Let's go Declan Rice. I'll give Deckers a 7. Solid in the midfield. Didn't really make any mistakes, other than giving the penalty away. Maybe be a little bit more cognizant of what's going on around you next time before trying to hoof it out, instead of hoofing the dude's nuts up his backside. But other than that, I thought he was solid. What did you think, Dow?
7 is perfect. Yeah, I think there's some times I think he could have given a bit more offensively, but that's not his full job. So again, top display again, except for the one mistake. The ball bounced a bit in front of him. He tried to kick it.
Yeah. Rice minus 10,000 gave away the pen. Plus, he's an international snake. Lucky. Did you know that Rice is an international snake?
I've heard that before. I think I've heard that from somebody named Jaminho several times this season. Well, that snake Jaminho has changed Arsenal. I'm sorry, but he has been the catalyst for change at this club. Havertz, you can make a case a little bit for that, but from the moment Declan Rice put on the kit, we have seen a change in our midfield for the better.
Guderiar is wasting us. Made loads of mistakes. Has great. Rice is a rat. Oh my goodness! You guys are all of you guys Irish? Like, are all you guys Irish?
Yeah, good. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. I love it. No, it's fine. Thanks again for being here, guys. Obviously, Hendon Gunner is in here. Big up Hendon Gunner, Guderiar, Hugo, Jaminho, Paul, all you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. We know everybody and their mother is streaming right now, so we're glad that you're here. Let's keep going. Let's keep going through the midfield here. Let's talk about Thomas Partey. 7 again, solid. I thought he was good. What'd you think?
Yeah, I was going to go closer to a 6.5. Maybe it was Rice that was giving the ball away a bit more than Thomas Partey, but there was
actually, you know what? I'm going to look that up. Because
Partey kind of slowed. He was good, but he kind of slowed things down a bit at times. Like, there was times where he would spin around the ball and pass it back to Saliba or Gabriel or even Tommy, and it just was sort of like, if you would just hoof it up, maybe Kai Havertz would get something to run on. So yeah, I gotta go 6. I see some 7s in the chat, but I gotta go 6, man. I just didn't think he was,
No, and that's fair. That's fair.
Nice.
That's fair. I think he did, like, based on the stats, I think he did the job. I mean, he had 93% pass completion, long balls, he hit 75% of them, dribble attempts, lost the ball 6 times, but he really didn't move the ball upfield very much. I think it was like, why it's not jumping out of the pages for you is because he wasn't the guy that was in charge of advancing the ball today. So I think it was just solid 7. I mean, you weren't looking at Thomas Partey being like, oh my God, he made a huge mistake, or he's not doing this, or he's not doing that. I think it was a performance.
Yeah, it was like 6.5, 7, 6 to 7.
6.5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree on that.
There's probably still a little bit of match fitness that's missing a bit. He was phenomenal against Chelsea, but again, they're shit. So You can't really gauge that too well. But today was a good gauge, and I thought, yeah, 6 to 7.
Yeah. Yeah, he played the Jorginho role and played it well. Yeah, I agree with this. Paul. I agree with this.
Party played the full 90, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Yeah, he did. Martin Odegaard.
8. Phenomenal.
Great again today.
Yes, but I'm taking that away from a 9 because there were certain times in the second half I thought he was Ghostagard again. But I truly, honestly think he was just absolutely dead tired come the 70th minute. And it was right to sub him off. I think his legs were done. His legs were done.
I would put him more in a 7.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't. The reason I'm like 6.57 on him is because he just wasn't generating as much as he normally does. I mean, you would expect him, but they were kind of, like I said, they were focusing on they were really focusing in on him and trying not to give him a lot of room. Right. I don't think that, like, based on previous performances versus this performance, I mean, you already given him a 10 for his performance at Chelsea. Today, I don't think he was anywhere near that. But I also think that's because of the way that Spurs played against him. So I would say 7. But if you want to give him an 8, it's your rating. So
no, it's between a 7 and an 8. I just think that he really was the engine in the first half, and even Jorginho's disagreeing with me, saying that he was better in the second half, where I thought he was more of a ghost. It's funny because we're both watching the game, but you see different things.
Facts.
Yeah, I can go 7. I mean, 8 might be a little high. Ben White was better than him today overall, so yeah, a 7.5 or a 7. I can go for that. You can move him down.
Okay, yeah, we'll move him down just because I thought Ben White definitely deserved that 8, and I think that there's a 9 coming too.
I think so too.
Trossard, what do you think of Trossard today?
Good, but he was kind of quiet, wasn't he? He really was.
He was our worst attacker, in my opinion.
But he wasn't terrible, right? But you could see it just wasn't happening for him today. And I don't think that was something that, he was like inability or anything. I just think, I think Ange put extra, some extra pressure on him, and they were able to double team him pretty well up the pitch. Before he got into the attacking third, he was already kind of double teamed. But yeah, I got to give a 5.
Yeah. Not the best.
No, but yeah.
It's all right. It's all right.
He scored against Porto though too, Paul. So
yeah.
Oh, Porto.
Well,
yeah.
Porto.
I think you did there, Paul. Yeah.
Porto.
Okay, just making sure. He did score against Porto. Porto's a top player. I'd say Porto is probably, to me, Tottenham's, I think maybe their best player is Pedro Porro, their best player besides Madison.
Their best player.
Madison did shit today.
Their best player today was Porro, for sure.
Yeah.
Shithouser, but Shithouse, but yeah, was probably their best player. Yeah, I agree with you. 5 is fair, I think. Bukayo Saka, 8.
Oof. Yeah.
8. Incredible goal, well taken, torched on that right side. I cannot believe the amount of space that Spurs let him have on that Kai Havertz assist. Like, everybody was moving towards the left side of the pitch, and he was just there unmarked. So anybody that is going to go out there and say, "Oh, Ange is this great manager," he had half the pitch to move that ball up there. Class goal, hung in there. Great balls in during corners today. Yeah, that's an 8 for Bukayo today. Great game from him today. Yeah. What do you think, Dal?
Yes, I thought he was phenomenal today, but still, I want more.
Yeah, I know.
Second half, he sort of faded out.
I think everybody faded out in the second half.
Yeah, I agree. So with that, he was still phenomenal in the first half, and he got the goal which he needed. That's going to be great for his confidence going up against Bournemouth next week. He needed a goal. I think he went on with a little bit of a dry spell there. I can't remember the last goal he scored. Was it Chelsea? No. Was it Chelsea
Yeah.
scored? Yeah, well, okay. So, I mean, consistently, we get on him, excuse me, we get on him a lot when he doesn't perform. And days like this, he performed, but I still silent, man, in the second half.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to go with an 8 because we needed that. We needed that cross. We needed that goal. He was phenomenal in the first half.
Yeah. Okay. Kai Havertz. 9 from me. He gets a 9. Incredible performance today. 2 goals. 2 goals today. Incredible. No, not 2 goals. Sorry. And two GA. Incredible assist again to Bukayo Saka. Incredible pass. That's gonna go. That's a highlight reel pass and goal to Bukayo. Incredible header. Was pulling people out of position. Had several chances that he could have scored on. Pulling, like I just said, pulling Spurs players out of position, causing havoc in the final third. I'm giving him a 9 man of the match performance from Kai Havertz today. And yes, this is the same person. I am the same person that absolutely put a funeral on for when we signed this guy. But he is proving me. He's proving me wrong. He's proving me wrong. What do you got, Dal?
I concur. 9 and man of the match. Because Jaminho said it plain as day. What more can you ask for in a North London derby? But a hat trick. But no, yeah, he was phenomenal today. And I don't know where this player's come from, but it just shows you that the Chelsea system isn't for everybody. That there's certain players, again, this guy's been rated since he was 15 years old. It's not like the talent just goes away. In fact, he's gotten better, right? He's gotten better. And Johnny D, you're right. It took all the cojones I had to say that because I did not want this guy even near the bus. I didn't want him walking the dog, Johnny Donuts. I didn't want him anywhere near London Colney, and I'm glad to have mud on my face if we're in first place and we're lifting the title. If we have to lift that trophy with Kai Havertz, so be it, TJ. So be it. Kai Havertz, man of the match, North London derby. Take a bow, son. Take a bow.
Take a bow. Take a fucking bow. Okay, quickly, we'll go through the substitutions. Gabriel Martinelli.
5.
Yeah, 5.
Well, part of it, but I must put an asterisk next to that. I was watching our man Yeti and Jez. Shout out Yeti and Jez. Jez was screaming for him to get the ball on the left because he thought the ball was too much to the right, which I can agree with. At times, we didn't utilize his pace enough. But again, when he gets the ball, what did he do?
Yep.
Nothing. He's having a bad season, bro. I've said it when he had the 5 goals, in 27 games earlier. He's just having a bad season. Martin Kelly.
That's funny. That's funny.
No, he's just having a bad season. I don't want to sell him. I know there's been talk about him being sold, blah blah blah. Put him on the bench. He's doing what he can, I guess, at this point. But I'm not up for selling him. He's my left winger. I like Trossard too, but I think Martinelli still brings another dimension of speed and pace. And I don't understand why Arteta is so opposed to putting him up front with Trossard on the left and Saka on the right, Jesus on the right, Jesus on the left. I mean, we didn't even see Jesus today. Was he injured?
No, he was on the bench.
Was he? I guess I must have dozed off then. But Martinelli, man, not having the best season, but I don't think he's a dead footballer by any means.
No, I think it's just an off season too. Andy's been contending with injury as well. So, not that that's an excuse for his performances. Like I still think he still needs to get his head up in the final third more. He needs to be looking for options sooner instead of running it out of bounds when he's guided there by the op back line. But I'm telling you right now that there is a player there. He's just having a bad season. So yeah, and then finally we can just I think we can just give him a standard 5. QER did come in and deliver the victory at the end, subbing on for Martin Odegaard towards the end of that match when we were just trying to lock it up. So
I didn't like
I don't
that
have
sub.
a
Oh,
what? Go ahead. What do you say?
I was shit scared when he subbed off Odegaard. I wanted a
Yeah.
fourth goal. I really did. I thought that I didn't know who to bring off because I thought all at that time was so tense. Like
Yeah.
whoever you bring on is going to have to match that intensity. And Kiwior, it just really, really like not Jorginho.
Yeah.
I mean Kiwior. I opposed that sub, and Odegaard was doing things. I know he was dead tired when he got sub, but he was, trying to make things happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought that was a silly sub, but in the end, it worked. So
Hey, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I'm good. I'm good with that. That's your opinion, man. No, I thought it was. I understood why he did it. I understood why because honestly, Martin Odegaard doesn't offer anything on the defensive side of the ball, and that's what we needed. So I thought the sub was good, and for that certain scenario, like if you're tied, you don't make that sub. But if you're trying to hang on to a lead away, I think you make that sub. I think that's justified, in my opinion.
I see what you're saying, the sub, but I disagree in the player. I just don't.
Yeah,
I think you keep your back four. You just put Jorginho in there. Way more experience, better performances in tight situations we've seen this season. He was phenomenal against Liverpool. I just thought it was a risk, man, but it paid off. It paid off.
paid
So
off.
in the end, right? It doesn't matter in the end. We got the 3 points, and let's be clear, guys. Let's be clear, Gooners. That doesn't matter. We, as much as we give these ratings and we talk about who's in form and who's not, the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and that's what matters the most.
Yeah,
City are going to run us to the end, but I still think having that 1 point advantage and a goal differential will come in to help us. I'm not saying we're going to win the league because I know they have a game in hand still, but this is what we wanted. We wanted the 3 points and we got it, so we should be happy. We can analyze the performance till we're blue in the face, guys. But the fact of the matter is, we won. They didn't. We're the kings of North London, and that's just the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be from here on out.
Last rating, Mikel Arteta.
7.
7. Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
7. I think that it was an easy A. You know what? No, I'm gonna give him an 8. I think it was an easy A with the lineup that you have. Your lineup is finally there. I think that the subs were just fine. I agree with him. I agree with when he made the subs and the fact that he didn't make a ton of them because you see these players. Yeah, you're running them ragged. I think we only made 2 subs through the entire match. Like
Yeah.
I think you have to ride the horse that got you to that point in the match. So I understand why he made the subs that he did. Like we might disagree with subbing off Odegaard for Kiwior. Like there's a debate to be had there, but not too long of one in my opinion. But I understand why he did it. It got the job done. I'm giving him an 8. Another 2 away wins in a row in the North London Derby. You got to give him his flowers for that. As much as I'll criticize this manager, he got us a win over our loudest rivals, and we move on. We move on to Bournemouth, and we get the results there.
Is that home? Well, we are away there.
Yeah. No, so we're at home. We're at home on that one. We're at home on that one.
It's home away, and then home at the end, right? So we've got Bournemouth, United, and Everton.
Yep.
Home away, home away. Quickly, what do you think about the United game?
I think that we have to beat Bournemouth. Obviously, we can't. And I think we have to beat them by 2. But we have to go in with a certain posture and a certain confidence with Old Trafford because it seems like whenever we go there, we beat ourselves. We don't. Right. We're not beaten by Man United. I remember it was second. It was September 2nd, 2022 was the last time we played there away, right? And we lost on a foul on a foul on Odegaard to that Martinelli goal that was disallowed. And I feel like after that happened, we put our heads down and we were dead. We were out of that game.
That's when Ronaldo scored too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, like, they're completely different teams. Like, I get that, and United are in the mud right now, but you have to consider these are essentially the same players that we took in there last time. Are we truly mentality monsters? Are we truly that team that will get it over the line against our biggest rivals? And I consider United our biggest rival. It doesn't matter. They are our biggest rival historically. So, who's competing for titles? It's Arsenal, it's Liverpool, it's Man United, it's City, and it's Chelsea.
City now.
It's not Tottenham, and that's no disrespect. I mean, it's disrespect to Tottenham. It's just the facts. So this is our biggest game of the season, going away. The only way that we lose that match is if we beat ourselves. I'll say it over and over again.
Yeah, I believe 100%. And what you said about Tottenham, like being that 5th or 6th team outside that, that's why I compare them to Crystal Palace and like Wolves and Brentford and so forth. I mean, I know they're better with better names, but they have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So are they really that much better than Crystal Palace in the end? No. You know, I'm not trying to slag anyone off. I'm just, just because you're 5th or 6th every single season, I mean, give me a break. But yeah, with the United thing quickly, I think we go in there and shellac them. I think their defense is so poor. Their midfield is poor. I know McTominay, I think, is injured after the Burnley game. Maybe that's 2 weeks away, so he may be back. But Anthony's terrible. Marcus Rashford is dusted. Højbjerg is not that good. I mean, we should go in there and treat him like we did with Chelsea. Go in there and just spank the shit out of them and not give them the time that we did today with Tottenham. Sit back. Mistakes happen. But you're right. They're our biggest rival, one of our biggest rivals. I slightly would defer to Chelsea a bit because of the 2010 era and them winning pretty much everything, besides United and Arsenal. So, no, I'm expecting a 3 or 4-0 thrashing.
Yep. No, I agree.
We'll see. It's an old Trafford, and that and Hugo says revenge for the 8-2 still stays in my mind. I'll never forget that ever. So yeah, great show.
We'll see. Great show again, Dal. Love doing these shows with you, my brother, especially after we win. You were going to redirect you guys over to Lee Gunner. He's having another emergency stream. We're going to redirect you guys over there.
Every day now, bro.
It's an emergency stream every day. They're doing fire drills over at Lee Gunner every day.
Believe me.
Yep. But we'll go ahead and redirect you guys over there again. Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out local Highbury's local Badger, Gunnar ER, Paul, all the legends in here. Thanks again, Elias, for the super chat. Jamino, obviously legend. Hugo, legend. Thank you everybody who joined us today and throughout the morning. Really, really appreciate it. You'll catch me next time on It's One of Those Things on Tuesday, and I'll be on American Waffle tomorrow night on Staffy TV. You can catch me there. Dal, you got anything you want to plug?
We got the 3 points.
We got the 3 points. We'll see you later.